Press enter to talk. Hello. Okay. Follow me to get your loadout. Alright, go inside the circle and pick things that you think you want to play. My recommendations in game options, pick quick fire for abilities. Otherwise, it's press number 1, aim at target, press that left mouse button. Once you've picked your whatever class you think you want, we can hop into a dungeon. Welcome to Tran's Play The Last Citadel.
Welcome.
We have a friend of mine, Zero. I met him when I was trying to figure out how curators work. This is action RPG, moving from point A to point B.
There's no friendly fire, right?
I don't think there's friendly fire.
Good.
Try shooting me.
Okay, I think we're good.
Alright, I'm gonna try to do a emote on myself. Let's see here. That's not it. I need healing. I don't know if anybody has healing. The big med icon on me is me requesting healing, if anyone has it. I don't think there's friendly fire. I figured you guys would want guns, so I went melee. The junk rifle is your default secondary. I wouldn't use it if you don't have to. Now, I don't, of course, talk that slowly normally, but I find it helps if I say aloud what I'm typing for the camera, for the video. Otherwise, the audience, you, wouldn't be able to see it in the bottom left corner of the screen. Emo here.
These different colors, do you have any idea what they are, the different orb things?
They're monetary units that you can use to buy upgrades.
Okay.
Go ahead and chat with the guy. He's totally harmless. So I played a little bit of this maybe about a month ago when I first requested and spoke with the developer. I asked if he would be willing to contribute a key so that I could check out the game. He was happy to do so. And
This time.
I don't know if this is for everyone, but get the passive if not. Go ahead and pick up the purple thing. And this is the first developer I've had the pleasure of meeting that gave me multiple keys. Were we each able to get a passive?
I got one.
Okay.
I got the one that brings me back if I die. I figured that was smart.
Oh,
given
well,
my
it's
skills.
random.
Oh.
In this game, there are little vending machines all over the place. You spend your different crystals instead of finding loot. Okay, you look hurt, so I'm gonna try to heal you. First I'll heal Zero since he's joined us and he doesn't have voice chat. As soon as I can lock on him. Waiting for my number 4 icon. There we go. Alright, for the viewers, just because I'm talking live to my wife as well as the YouTube. But for the viewers, right below my crosshairs and stuff, you'll see Guardian Blade. That's the weapon I'm using, and then below that you'll see my abilities. Gun store to the left if you want to change out. It will cost. But that's what the money's for. And I don't think your character progression is saved between patches. I'm gonna try to heal you. You stand still for a second. Go ahead and go shopping. Buy anything you want. I have a very slow heal that I am throwing on you guys. Alright, so for the viewers, my option number 1, that is my battle drone that hangs over my shoulder and attacks whatever I'm aiming at. Then option number 2 is a sentry that I can place on the floor, a turret. Option 3 is heal myself, and option 4 is heal what I'm looking at. The yellow bar under your health is your dodge gauge, also known as stamina. Default, I think it's F. For you, it's control. I rebound that to make it easier. Medic's in here, you take it.
Thanks.
Once you're done picking your upgrade, we enter the cloud. Once you've nabbed your upgrades, this door leads to the next region. Each area, I think, is randomized. At least this map didn't look the same. And the game crashed. Hello? Nothing.
Did I see you walking? I think that's you.
Test. Oh, no, it's
Yeah,
showed up.
going.
Okay. Maybe it isn't a host thing then. Because you guys certainly did not reconnect to me individually. Alright, now that you had a taste of the game, please select the loadout you'd like. Now you see why I brought heals. If you ran out of ammo, you can even bring ammo boxes. I don't know why I have this thing at the top, but okay. For some reason, maybe while I was typing, I think I unlocked something developer-wise. So I get a bunch of gibberish. I know it doesn't at the top of my screen. Now, I was typing when we transitioned, so maybe that was the crash. If not, well, I guess this episode, or video, will just be the first dungeon level. That'll be the best we can do. looks like a pickup back there. Y'all keep going. I'll go fetch it. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. Oh. Huh. It looks like each person gets their own crystal loot drops from the baddies. I think. Because you guys are walking right through all these crystals, I thought I Saint Ballista.
Well, I got badly torn up on that.
Yeah. Do you have heals?
I used my heal.
Okay. That looks like ammo. I'll just go ahead and pick it up then. Do you see when I heal you?
I heard a sound effect. I wasn't watching my bar at the time.
Oh, that's fine.
I heard boom.
Air pulsing drone. I don't know what that is. Okay, well I spent 50 on it, but I have no idea what that did. I'm taking the regeneration thing. I see what you meant.
It seemed like a good deal.
Here goes nothing.
Thanks.
Looks like we all picked the aura. Try to use your abilities as much as possible. They are free.
I also get health every time I pick up a crystal, which I thought was nice. He's not moving?
He doesn't know how to get to us.
Oh, good for us. Ooh. I think he healed me.
His heal is 5, so I knew that it was him healing you.
Have you gotten the run speed upgrade?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that was my permanent passive. Instead of like 5% damage,
Uh-huh.
at the beginning, at the loadout, I picked run speed upgrade. Alright, well that's an issue for me, that I can't see my health when I'm up against the wall. I spent 50 on that last round. I don't know what that does. Okay, that hurt a lot. We might die here.
Well, that went well.
That hurt.
That was nice. This looks familiar.
Yeah. I'm trying to heal up 0 as soon as I get the ability. For the viewers, what you do is you talk to the Spectre, and he says, "I will summon monsters, and if you win, you get a prize. If you lose, he claims your soul." And I thought it was gonna crash. I was about to say.
I'm almost dead. That was very close.
This time.
Sometimes it doesn't heal the target. I just end up healing myself instead.
Whoa, there's a lot of crystal.
I think the blue ones are meta progression. The green ones are for this run, I think.
Where'd you go? I think neither one of us know where you are. Oh, hello.
I'm just like looking at you guys. Ooh, I got reviving teammates is 3 times as fast.
Let's hope you don't have to use it, though. Great. Well, he looks friendly.
That's a very low-key music for a boss battle. Is he healing? No, I don't think
No.
so. Okay, I saw green numbers.
This doesn't seem that bad. Oh. Why am I getting so badly hurt? I'm dead.
we killed him and we failed. Let's see what happens. Let's try retry run.
We're voting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was within the range of him or something, but I started losing health really fast.
Yeah, I don't know what you do when he's heating up the room like that.
Maybe I'm behind a pole or something?
All the way back here? Man. Alright, thanks for joining. You... Okay, he's already gone. No, that was 0. I don't know. What do you do when you're heating up? I mean, like I tried standing behind the pillars. That I'm not sure that helped at all.
I couldn't see to figure out what was going on, so I'm not totally sure. I just know my health kept dropping, and I was trying to run in some direction. I don't know if it has a radius, maybe, and we just have to get out of it.
Yeah, I think that some of the visual cues and audio cues of the game need to be improved, such as when I'm swinging at the enemy. There's really not much sound feedback. If I play games like Dynasty Warriors or Space Marine, number 1, I haven't played number 2, that's been recently out, but I would imagine that there's a lot more feedback when you hit something. As it is right now, if I'm swinging normally, it feels the exact same as if I'm swinging at nothing at the air.
Well, and the sound effect of when my thing hits kind of sounds like it's bouncing off of metal and not actually hitting flesh.
Well, that's. I'm hoping you're not using the junk rifle, because that's.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I have an excuse to use it because my other weapon is a sword, so...
Right. No, I've been upgrading the other ones, so let's hope I was using the right one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't like that we have to start all the way back here just to try the boss again, but I think that'll be the video. I'm sorry to the developer, I wasn't able to get the 4th player to join us, and that took so long to get this out. But I was waiting and waiting to try to get a 4th person. Unfortunately, I haven't really been able to get a team rolling in any sort of squad-based game. The wife is there to help, but I was hoping to get a full team.
We did our best, though.
We did our best. We defeated him!
Well, I was not really alive at the defeating, but... You
weren't alive, but I had the... I thought I picked the thing, maybe that was when I crashed. No. It was this run. I picked the thing that says when I die, I get health back, or is it...
I did too. You get resurrected with 250. You can use it once every 3 minutes or something.
Yeah. Well, maybe we used it before, though. I don't know.
Maybe I died and came back, and I just didn't realize.
Yeah, maybe we did use it beforehand at some point. But still, we beat him before we died. I would say that's a victory, especially if these guys are supposed to be hardcore soldiers. They accomplished their mission.
Right. We did pretty good.
Yeah, we did all right. I don't know about good.
Hey, I survived up until that point. That's pretty good.
I had 0 health right here. Why did you spawn in with full life and I spawned with 0?
Probably because I was dead, so I come back with all.
Alright. Well, thank you very much for watching Tran and 0 play The Last Citadel.
Thanks for joining us.
I'll see you next time. Alright, you made it to the end of the gameplay portion of the video. Let's quickly talk about what kind of things you can set up. My character's armor was a little bit different than the others. It's armor that they could have also picked, but they may have just picked a archetype to begin with rather than sitting there and going through the loadouts, because by that time, of course, we were all gathered together. I had the fortune to be able to use the key earlier and just pick what we wanted for a loadout. By default, you have these first 5 that are already selected for us, but you can still edit any one of these and start from fresh. But I left them alone so that we could at least take a look at them. First off, you can rename them as you please, but you have 4 abilities at any time, and these abilities don't cost you anything in the game. They don't cost you crystals, they don't cost you mana or ammo, it's just free. The charge is how many times you can use it when it's at max energy. So if it says charge 3 and you use 2 of them, over time it'll refill those other charges. For the all-rounder, his default selection is Electro Strike, Machine Gun Turret, Divine Touch, and Arcane Supply. Arcane Supply being just a refill of ammo. If we click on any one of these, it'll take us to 3 different trees, and we can mix and match between any one of them. All right. My only issue with this is you can't pick one that you already have in order to swap places in the current build of the game. For example, let's say I want a Machine Gun Turret to be number 1. For whatever reason, maybe I just want to move things down by 1. Well, I'd have to first pick something else like Battle Drone, and then Machine Gun Turret, I have to go back and select Electro Strike, then I have to go back to Battle Drone and select Machine Gun Turret, and that's how you could swap places, which is way too many clicks just to swap 2 things around. Alright. I'm not going to go over every single offensive, defensive, supportive ability. Mainly because, one, I trust that you can read. Two, the game absolutely will be changing as it develops, because this is way so early in early access, you cannot even buy it yet. You can check out the demo, but you can't buy it. And secondly, since you've already seen the video, you already know what kind of abilities we are using, so there's no point talking about an ability that we never show. There are 3 types of heals that you can use, and you can absolutely, if you choose to, make your character a dedicated medic. You can bring all 3 of those heals and then pick something else, such as a defensive ability. You can create your character however you see fit. Once you pick your abilities, you can also pick your suit. Your suit being primarily how fast you move and how many hit points you have. The one that I had picked was the Redemptor, but you can also be this giant Minotaur type thing with 2,000 health, high mobility, but you do half your range damage. Yeah, you can pick a lot of things. For example, if you love using guns in the game, which I feel like the guns could feel a little bit beefier and chunkier, the bullets sound very plain. Maybe that's just because I'm used to Warhammer stuff, but those are bolt guns where they fire giant stakes at people. Alright, anyways, yeah, you can pick as you see fit for your armor type. And then, of course, you get your colors. There's an entire color hex here, as well as the... it says intensity, I don't know if there's another word for that. So you pick your primary, and then your detail. Oops, I didn't pick the detail. Gotta click the detail. Like that. It's kind of like watermelon now. Then you pick your default gun. You will always have a junk rifle as your secondary weapon. When you're in the game itself, you can toss your junk rifle to the side and pick up a different secondary weapon. But just as you're starting the campaign, before you've entered the dungeon, you've got to pick one main gun to go with your junk rifle. The main gun that by default you'll probably start if you just dive right into the game is going to be the machine gun. And I think that's a good starter gun for you to play with. Alright, passives. Don't just be fooled by these 3. Look at the top, you see that you also have another tree. So you by default will probably have offensive. But you could do something like defensive, such as see 10% more healing, more health. I went for support, terminal velocity, upgrade the running speed by 50. I don't actually know how much that helped. Alright, we're going to go and cancel because I'm going to leave it as an all-rounder. But that's what these things will do. So the tank, he doesn't have any, as a named profile, doesn't have any special abilities. It just picked that setup that you can also pick for yourself. Pick the defender, it gave the thick skin, which gives you the extra health, so it picks all those things. Additionally, every color is specific to a loadout, so if you wanted to make your tank be bright pink so that it attracts attention, you can do that. If you wanted your sniper to be camouflage green or black or beige, you can do that as well. I just went with this. The abilities we had was the battle drone, which I felt paired really well with my melee attack. Number 1, it gave me a ranged option most of the time. Every minute I could use this. And number 2, because you have to press and hold to attack with this, if you had a gun, you would be constantly discharging your gun. Yes, it would fire in the direction you're firing at, and you better hope that you're dead on target. Well, with a melee, I can just press and hold my sword, and it'll continue firing. So that's why I really liked using the battle drone for that. Machine gun turret was just something I can throw on the ground. I used it maybe 3 times total that map, or that campaign. Then this is your heal self ability, and this is heal someone else ability. Divine Touch actually was very, very picky about looking at people. They had to be not only looked at, but in the exact range to be effective. If it failed, if I wasn't looking at a person just right, it would heal myself. Thanks, game. And then, of course, we used the Guardian Blade. We can unlock more weapons over time, I believe, and then we'll take a look at some of those. So let's go ahead and hit cancel and confirm and take a look around real quick of town. This is the arsenal. I really suggest you drop by here. The targeting dummy, for whatever reason, is all the way across the field. And you can test out your heals per second. You can test out your attacks. So this is what I was constantly doing. If you wondered why I was whipping all the time, that's because I would charge up my blade and then send out a ripple. Alright, so you got targeting dummies over here, you can reload your guns, and of course you can buy stuff. Here are the blue crystals that I mentioned that might be metagame currency. That's really loud. All items unlocked with this Guns and Go can be equipped via the loadout editor in the Forge, which is where we just were. So if I wanted to start a game with a howitzer instead, we probably could. In fact, we have 162 crystals, I don't know if these things will ever stay. I kind of want to get that hammer. Star Render has 4 damage and 3 rate of fire. And the hammer, Fiend Crusher, has 2 rate of fire. Well, which one costs more? This one costs way more. I guess we'll get the Star Render. Why not? Yes. There, active shop. This is stuff that we could have picked for abilities instead, and is frankly what I would suggest you do rather than what I just did. But I'm not worried about it because I know that my character will be reset as the game patches. So I'm not stressed out about it. But you might find stuff like Toxic Wind. Sounds like passing gas, but it says it deals enemies in front of the caster. Maybe it should be the other way around. We have Purging Saw Blade. There's so many different abilities that you can pick and choose and mix and match with your 4 brought in abilities, which are again free to use as you play the game. You just have to wait for your cooldown. That's it. That's the only thing you have to do is wait for the cooldown. We have the passives, which you only get to bring 1 of. Let's see here. Convert all prism pickup from this point to crystals. Okay, and I'm assuming crystals are the blue one and prisms are the green ones. Cosmic Chicken was the one I was counting on to revive me. It may have, I don't know. I've actually gone through the footage twice, only because I was splicing in the wife's footage on top of places where I thought it was most interesting to watch her perspective rather than mine. Because I'm melee, there are a lot of times what I'm doing is I'm just like staring at the enemy's chest as I'm just hitting them, and you can't really see much else. So I would flip to her perspective in the video footage that I've put together for you, so that you can say, oh wait, that's actually what's going on. You would rather not stare at the wall like I'm doing, right? Okay, so we covered the forge a little bit. There's really nothing right here. This is just to give you in-universe perspective of why your character comes back after being defeated. You just emerge from the med bay. This is where you spawn. You can't do anything with the person here. It currently does nothing. Maybe in the future you'll use stimulants or something. I don't know. This is where you would set up your online lobby. If you went over here and you wanted to create private, okay, that's fine. And if you wanted to take a look at what their code was, it doesn't show. I think it's because I'm playing in offline mode right now. Steam offline, that is. Once you hit escape, there would be a little 4 letters down here in the bottom left, like SSSG or something, and then you would just have your friends type that in. Let's see here. I don't think this room does anything. Yeah, not yet. Maybe it's like a mecha bay or something. Up here is the headquarters where you will get a quest. I don't like that he's really out of the way. Players probably wouldn't see this and they would just dive right into the dungeon, which is fine. You want your characters to dive into the dungeon, but I really think that the HQ guy or something should let the player start working on the quest, because I doubt my 2 companions during that game developed any progress towards this quest. That being said, I don't think I'm even going to finish the quest myself. But if I did finish it, I would unlock the Gaussian cannon. I'm not sure if that's how you say it. I think I always used to say Gauss rifle, but I don't know. I've heard some people say Gauss. This is new to me, I think. Oh, no, I've seen this. Okay. I've actually wondered this myself. I know the correct way to spell this is bestiary, and everybody would always say bestiary because this is what you look to see your enemies, your monsters, whatever. But I actually don't know why, if it's a bestiary, why is it spelled best? I don't personally know that, but in this case, the game developer does have an A here, which it doesn't need to be. I actually sent him an email a long time ago with typography stuff. That's one of the reasons why perhaps he felt comfortable letting me have extra keys to distribute so that I could try to get a group game going, because I wanted to show his game at his best. That's what I always want to do. I'm never in it to tear down a game. I want to just showcase everything that I see that I get my hands on so that you can decide, hey, is this anything that I'm interested in picking up, playing, and messing with? I looked at this into the game scoreboard, and it looks like I had tons of healing done to myself and received, or I did output as well as received, and probably it's 1 and 1. I'm probably healing myself first and foremost, but I felt comfortable with that. That's why I gave myself the sword. I figured they would not necessarily switch to a blade. They would probably use a default gun first. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I made my character gold in appearance, is I also figured they wouldn't necessarily take the time, not through any fault of their own, just because they didn't have the game early, right? I had the game earlier than they did, so I had time to mess around. But I figured they would start off the game with their default blue colors. So real quick, I logged into my wife's laptop, changed her to slightly cyan, so it was slightly different than what I assumed 0 would be the default blue. This way, when you're flipping around the cameras, you'll be able to tell our heroes apart. All right, and I think that's about it. I really like the ability to mix and match setups here. However, I think doing 2 dungeon maps and then a boss is way too much. And I think when you die, you select retry, you should not be thrown all the way back to the beginning. There's no point. You might as well put the character back in the loadout screen so they can change things if they are defeated. I don't know. I would like the ability to change loadouts more on the fly as well. Not necessarily perhaps in the same map, but maybe at the beginning of every map if you were to walk all the way back. And finally, I think the last feedback I would have is a lot of the dungeons looks very, very much the same to any other part of the dungeon. While I didn't personally get lost, I can see it being a sore point for people because you're just walking back where there are no enemies. There's nothing to do. I think they should slowly trickle in enemies, not to keep the player pressured. No, that's not to do it. Just to give the player something to do and maybe be rewarded as they're walking around, so that it's not they walk 6 minutes in this direction, get to a dead end, and get lost and wander around for 5 minutes before finding the exit. That's 11 minutes of time where they weren't having fun. So I think if they were to populate the dungeon with more stuff as you're backtracking or looking around, I think that'd be helpful. It should probably be a cannon fodder type enemy though, so that way the player knows where they've been, right? It's a specific enemy that's just a filler enemy, deliberately meant not to waste your time, but to perhaps fuel you with hit points or ammo or something, just as a trickle thing. The first Space Marine game let players heal themselves through the Fury motion. That was their way to create a heal mechanic. While I didn't personally have any problems keeping myself healed, I did run 2 abilities dedicated to healing, just to take care of myself and maybe patch up my teammates from time to time. I think having little filler worms or grubs or something wandering around the map as you kill them, squish them, whatever, and get tiny bits of health back would probably be beneficial. That way, players don't always have to run a medic every game they play. And the biggest problem I see with this game, unfortunately, is that it makes an Epic store pop up. No, I'm not a hater by any means, but I can say that if I'm playing something on Steam, I don't want a login authentication thing or whatever connected to another online platform. I'm on Steam. I'm going to stay on Steam. So I bet you that there's going to be so many negative reviews based off of the Epic login. Your game has to be really, really massively hundreds of hours impressive in order to have people overlook that, because it is going to be a massive sore point for people, is to say, like, why do you want this information? Why do I need to log in? Why do I need to create an account for this? Helldivers is a recent example of this. It was a very beloved game, and then with the whole Sony PlayStation thing coming in, it made people very upset, and I don't have any disagreements with any of it. I'm just saying, this is not the way to go. This is not going to end well. Alright, that covers it for The Last Citadel. Thank you for making it this far in the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and that I'll see you next time.